Let me ask you something. How much money would it take for you to feel secure? Really, think about it. Double your income? Triple it? 10 times more? Here's what Solomon discovered after accumulating more wealth than any king in history. There's no amount that satisfies. And Ecclesiastes 5 is going to prove to you that money is the worst god you could possibly worship. But before we get there, Solomon opens this chapter with something most people skip right over. And it's going to make you very uncomfortable about how casually you talk to God. Ecclesiastes 5 1-2. Guard your steps when you go to the house of God. Draw near to listen rather than to offer the sacrifice of fools who do not know that they do wrong. Do not be quick to speak, and do not let your heart be hasty to utter a word before God. After all, God is in heaven, and you are on earth. So let your words be few. Let your words be few. When was the last time you heard that in a church service? We've got worship leaders telling us to just let it all out. Prayer warriors teaching us to claim and declare, and motivational preachers saying, speak it into existence. And Solomon's sitting here saying, shut up, talk less. Why? God is in heaven and you are on earth. You're not his peer. You're not his buddy. You're not negotiating from equal ground. He's God and you're not. So maybe, just maybe, you should think before you speak. Maybe you should listen more than you talk. Maybe you should stop treating prayer like you're placing an order at a cosmic drive-thru. Verse 4-5. When you make a vow to God, do not delay in fulfilling it, because he takes no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. It is better not to vow than to make a vow and not fulfill it. Oh, this is going to sting. How many of you have made promises to God you never kept? God, if you get me out of this, Lord, I promise I'll start reading my Bible every day. Father, I vow I'll stop this sin. And then life gets comfortable again and you forget. Solomon says it's better to say nothing than to make a vow you won't keep. And here's why. Verse 6. Do not let your mouth cause your flesh to sin, and do not tell the messenger that your vow was a mistake. Why should God be angry with your words and destroy the work of your hands? God takes your words seriously. More seriously than you do? That casual promise you made? That emotional vow during a worship service? That bargain you tried to strike when you were desperate? God heard it. And he's not impressed when you treat it like it didn't matter. This is not the God of second chance theology, where everything's always fine and there's never consequences. This is the God who says, you spoke, I listened. Now follow through. Now, why am I starting with this instead of jumping straight to the money verses? Because you need to understand something. The same carelessness you have with your words to God is the same carelessness you have with money. And Solomon's about to connect them. Verse 10. He who loves money is never satisfied by money, and he who loves wealth is never satisfied by income. This too is futile. There it is, the fundamental problem with money. It's not that money is evil, it's that money is incapable of satisfying. The more you have, the more you want. It's not a bug, it's the feature of money worship. You think, if I just made $100,000 a year, I'd be set. Then you make it. And suddenly $100,000 feels tight. Now you need $150,000. Then $200,000. And billionaires are still grinding for more billions. Why? Because money is a jealous God that demands more worship the more you serve it. Verse 11. When good things increase, so do those who consume them. What then is the profit to the owner, except to behold them with his eyes? More money equals more problems. More stuff equals more maintenance. More wealth equals more people wanting a piece. You finally get the big house, and now you've got property taxes, HOA fees, maintenance costs, Utility bills that make your eyes water? The car you dreamed about? Insurance, repairs, premium gas. Money doesn't simplify your life. It complicates it. What is the profit to the owner, except to behold them with his eyes? You just get to look at your stuff. That's it. You can't take it with you. You can't eat it. You can't truly enjoy it, because you're too busy maintaining it and worrying about losing it. Verse 12. The sleep of the worker is sweet, whether he eats little or much, but the abundance of the rich man permits him no sleep. The person with little sleeps soundly. The person with much tosses and turns all night. Why? Because wealth creates anxiety. You're worried about the stock market, worried about taxes, worried about thieves, worried about losing it, worried about your kids fighting over inheritance, worried about making the wrong investment. The poor person goes to bed and crashes. The rich person lies awake running calculations, checking accounts, stressing about portfolio performance. More money, less peace. That's the equation Solomon discovered. Now here's where it gets really dark. Verse 13 to 14. There is a grievous evil I have seen under the sun. Wealth hoarded to the harm of its owner, or wealth lost in a failed venture, so that when he fathers a son there is nothing to pass on. You spend your whole life accumulating wealth, and it destroys you. Either you hoard it and it makes you miserable, or you lose it in one bad investment and you've got nothing to show for decades of work. You can't win. Verse 15. As a man came from his mother's womb, so he will depart again, naked as he arrived. He takes nothing for his labor to carry in his hand. You were born with nothing. You'll die with nothing. Everything in between is temporary. You're not building a permanent kingdom. You're renting space in a temporary world. And acting like your bank account defines you is insane. Verse 18 to 20 give us the answer. And it's the same answer as chapter 2. Here is what I have seen to be good and fitting, to eat and drink, and to find satisfaction in all the labor one does under the sun during the few days of life that God has given him, for this is his lot. Furthermore, God has given riches and wealth to every man, and he has enabled him to enjoy them, to accept his lot, and to rejoice in his labor. This is a gift of God, for he seldom considers the days of his life, because God keeps him occupied with the joy of his heart. Money isn't the problem. Loving money is the problem. Having wealth isn't evil. Worshipping wealth is evil. God gives you the ability to enjoy what you have, whether that's a little or a lot. The key is accepting your lot, rejoicing in your work, and not making wealth your God. Here's what you need to do this week. Look at your bank account. Look at your debt. Look at your spending. And ask yourself, honestly, am I serving money, or is money serving me? Am I chasing wealth thinking it'll satisfy me, even though Solomon already proved it won't? Am I making financial decisions out of fear and greed, or out of faith and contentment? And here's the harder one. What vows have you made to God that you haven't kept? What promises have you broken? Because God is in heaven, you're on earth, and he takes your words seriously, even when you don't. Money will never satisfy you, not because you don't have enough, but because satisfaction isn't what money provides. It promises peace, but delivers anxiety. It promises security, but creates vulnerability. It promises freedom, but builds chains. Solomon had more wealth than you can imagine, and he's telling you, it's vapor, it's wind, it's meaningless. Don't waste your life chasing it. Don't make it your God, because unlike the real God, this God will destroy you and give you nothing in return. That's the scandal of Ecclesiastes 5. God takes your words seriously, and money takes your soul seriously. Choose wisely which one you're going to serve. Subscribe, because Solomon's got more uncomfortable truths coming your way. Thanks for watching.